In Chicago, thunderous chants of fire Matt Nagy have happened at baseball games throughout the year. They have happened at AEW wrestling events throughout the year, and they have been happening at Bears games for basically the entire season. Chicago Bears fans want Matt Nagy gone, and they might get their wish after Thanksgiving. It has been reported that Matt Nagy could be fired. Chicago Bears head coach Matt Nagy actually denied a report that said that he could be fired after Thursday's game, the Thanksgiving Day game against the Detroit Lions. And he says that report was not accurate. It was reported by Patch.com and quoted as a top source. Take that with a grain of salt. Nagy said he has not spoken to owner George McCaskey, the team president Ted Phillips, or anyone else in the front office. The group has regularly scheduled meetings, but they skipped this week because of the already shortened week. Of course, they're playing on a Thursday night, short week. Bears are currently 3-7, 5 consecutive losses, reverting back to Andy Dalton as a starting quarterback because of the injury to Justin Fields, suffered in the Baltimore game. So, a lot to break down here. This report that Matt Nagy could be fired after Thursday's game has a lot of people up in arms. I know a lot of Bears fans who are personally very, very, very happy about this news potentially happening. But here's what I will say. I think we need to kind of take it easy. Does it make sense that if the Bears had decided, right, after Sunday's loss to the Baltimore Ravens, we need to fire Matt Nagy, like he needs to be gone. If they had decided that right then and there, it would make sense that they probably would hold off on it until after Thursday's game because of the short week, because you want to give your interim head coach or whoever would be coming up the game plan, your players, time to adapt, time to get ready, time to fill those shoes, and honestly, who gives you the best chance to win? And that's already win is arguable, but who gives you the best chance to kind of just get through this short week? Probably sticking with Matt Nagy, it throws off the structure less, and then you fire him after Thursday's game. I get the logic in that. I do think that, though, that if they were going to fire him, they would have done it already. I think the McCaskeys and Ted Phillips and Ryan Pace, everyone involved in this situation, they misread everything about the way that this team has kind of operated over the past few years. The Chicago Bears, for the past few years, they've gone to the playoffs under Matt Nagy, I believe, 2 of his first 3 years, right, in the league. That one year they went 10-6. I believe they won the NFL, or actually no, they went 11-5. They had a great record. They, behind a great defense, behind Mitch Trubisky, 2018, they won the division. They obviously lost in the playoff off the double doink. Big shout out to Cody Parkey. And then they slipped into the playoffs last year at 8-8. The Chicago Bears only made those playoff appearances because of their defense. I want that to be known. I also want it to be known that they won in spite of Matt Nagy. I also want it to be known that Mitch Trubisky actually might have been less of a problem. I'm not saying he was a franchise guy. Mitch Trubisky is not a franchise quarterback. Can he play in the NFL? Absolutely. But he's not the franchise guy. But I think that a lot of people threw a lot of blame at Mitch Trubisky, and that blame probably should have been shared much more with Matt Nagy, because Matt Nagy essentially got a free pass. They got to put the scarlet letter, the proverbial scarlet letter on Mitch Trubisky, and instead Matt Nagy just kind of got away scot-free, and everything that he did to create that situation to not prepare his young quarterback to play, it all went by the wayside because, our coach is doing so well. He made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. It has nothing to do with the fact that he has almost not changed his system around the quarterback that's there to uplift that quarterback's capabilities, to uplift what that quarterback can do well. This should have happened a long time ago. And honestly, what has happened to Justin Fields over the past number of weeks is just the perfect epitome of what Matt Nagy does to an offense. Because Matt Nagy is the type of coach that Instead of playing to Justin Fields' strengths, instead of using his legs, instead of getting outside the pocket, doing bootlegs, to get your young quarterback comfortable, to get him moving, to move your offensive line that can't block for the crap, instead of doing things that would make sense. No, I'm going to have Justin Fields run my offense the way I want it to be run because the system, my system as Matt Nagy, is better than any one player. Matt, what has that system produced offensively? Honestly, what has that system produced offensively? You're a 3-7 football team. Your offense ranks near to the bottom of the league almost every year over the past 3 years. No one would say that the Bears' offense is a juggernaut. No one would say the Bears' offense is explosive. No one would say the Bears' offense is anything but a joke. As far as what the Bears should do moving forward, whether it's after a Thanksgiving game, whether this report is true or not, you get rid of Matt Nagy. The sooner you do it, the better Justin Fields will be for it. Because Justin Fields is a guy who still has a lot of potential, a lot of ability. He's a rookie. And he has shown that when Matt Nagy is not calling plays for him, and they're actually working with him to construct an offensive game plan that suits his strengths and gets him confident and gets the offense going, who would have thought Justin Fields plays better? Who would have thought? Just work to your quarterback's strength and maybe he'll play well. What a freaking just out there obscure concept. Am I right, Bears fans? They've been chanting Fire Matt Nagy for years in Chicago, and they've been doing it for good reason. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.